Thank you, Joe. Isn't it great to have a PhD in charge of this thing? He says things that I don't understand. But thanks again for the opportunity to give us a couple of minutes, Joe, to just share with folks just how grateful we are of what Texas Alliance for Life means for us as a family. And we're just really grateful for y'all here.
Yes, it's been such a privilege just to be connected with Joe and all that's happening with Texas Alliance for Life. And I think about 35 years ago when Warren and I first stepped out and were starting to trust God to build our family. And it was a hard time. And we waited and wondered and saw many friends have babies day after day, week after week. And we thought, Lord, what's the plan? What do you have for us? And one of the verses that I really clung to, along with many others during that really challenging time, was in Psalm 27, where it says, I would have despaired unless I'd seen the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And it says, be strong and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. And that's what we did. We waited and we waited. And lo and behold, in due time, God gave us a baby girl. We got a call one day and they said, at the adoption agency, they said, we have a baby that was born that's 3 pounds, 2 ounces. Would you want her? And we're like, oh, that's not quite what we were expecting. But we waited and we asked a lot of questions and we stepped out and we said, yes, this is the baby we want. Yes, we will take her. And at the time, we thought we'd give our baby the name Lauren Claire. We loved that name. And after she'd been in the hospital for 2 months, I thought, well, that's not a Bible name, it's not a family name. Maybe we should have another name. But I looked up in the little book about what names mean, and Lauren means victorious one, like crown of laurel leaves. And I thought, yes, that's her name. And we already knew that she had survived being born so early. She'd been in the hospital for 2 months and had some health complications, but she was victorious. And we were thrilled. We were probably the most thrilled parents ever on the planet. And we kept up the signs on our front porch for over a month that we had a baby girl in our house. And so we were excited and began to see time after time how God provided for her with some different medical challenges that she had. And then 21 years later, we took time and we got to meet her birth mother. Our whole family met together and we met her. And the day after we first met, I asked her birth mother, I said, tell me about your pregnancy when you were pregnant with her. And she said, I had an abortion when I was pregnant with her. Do you think I should tell her? And I said, maybe not today. She just met you. So 6 weeks later, Lauren Claire went to see where she was and be with her family. And she brought a gift to her, and she wrote a note to her, and she said, thank you for choosing life for me. And at the time, her birth mother just had tears streaming down her face. And it gives me goosebumps now just to think of that. But our daughter Claire just reached out to her, and she felt so much compassion for her as she heard her story of being a 13-year-old teenager that was pregnant. And she had an abortion. And she didn't know that she had twins. And she had a twin that was aborted, but our daughter survived. And so that began her journey of processing, what does this mean? But immediately just reaching out to her birth mother and showing grace and kindness and forgiveness to her. And she thought, we both thought, I think as people that adopt, we always think, wow, God has a plan for who he's going to put in our family. But at that time when her birth mother told me that, I thought, God really has a plan for this child's life. And as you can see from what Joe said, she's stepped up and been available to tell her story of survival. And it's been amazing and humbling just to be with her in different states and different countries, to hear people see her tell her story and realize, wow, I aborted someone, and this could be someone like who I aborted. And even just seeing just the grace that is extended to people as she meets people. And it's been exciting just to see just how just her life and her presence and her story has impacted people to choose and to make legislation more effective for people that might not have a choice. And especially in New York this spring, as many of you know, like when they passed that legislation to open the doors wide and not help anyone to survive after they've been aborted. And the tower was lit up pink. As I sat in a room with my daughter and she shared about just the impact that pink tower had, that it felt so personal, like, do I not matter? Do people like me not matter? And they do matter. Every person that has been aborted matters. And I just am encouraged to just to see the fervor again of just what Texas Alliance for Life is doing in making laws that protect those people and to make way for more significant laws.
Yeah, I think just you've heard a little bit about what the Texas Alliance for Life has done this year, but for me it's more how they do it, how they come alongside someone like Lauren Claire and support her in her life. And it was hard. It's been really devastating for her to go through this every week, telling her story about her mother tried to kill her. Her mother tried to kill her. It's been really devastating for her. So just how Joe and his team comes alongside her and then goes into the state capitol. And I had the privilege of being there with them a couple times this spring as they go down these halls and talk to our legislatures, and just the kindness that they approach these men and women. It's just phenomenal, and it's just so accepting the way they do it. And so that's been my greatest impact for me being with them over the last couple of months, is watching them, how they approach this whole ordeal of our country trying to kill our babies. And like Barbara said, I agree with her. As I just got to give a testimony to one of the legislatures, or one of the committees, I said, there's not a baby in the state of Texas that is not wanted. And I have many friends, but there are hundreds of people around the state and around our country that are waiting for babies. And so God bless you guys for what y'all do. If you have not walked the halls with Texas Alliance for Life people in our state capitol, call them up and go down there with them to walk the halls. Watch what they do. It is phenomenal. Not only what they do, but how they go about doing it. So thank y'all very much for the privilege we have. Thank you.